Hey everyone, it's been a while since the last one, but we've finally got the Suzuka track guide on ACC. So let's get on to the lap. We're going to be driving the Nissan GTR, which may be different from other cars, so anything I say here might be slightly different in other vehicles. But coming down to the first corner, there's a little bit of an off-road on the left. You want to brake right alongside that, hard. And this is a bit of an interesting first corner because you want to brake hard initially, and as you start turning in, let off the brake. Then turn into the corner, and as you start straightening up again, you want to brake hard, then once again lift off the brake, and you're going to start coasting towards the second part of the first corner. Around about halfway through, then you start getting back on the throttle, rotating out of the corner, back to the right, because you've got to go straight to the left, and you can use pretty much all of this curbing. It should help you get around the corner with the optimal line. And this section is actually pretty difficult with all the S's. You're going to have to touch the brake a few times to help the car turn in. You can use the curbs pretty much throughout most of this section just to shorten your lines. Back to the right as much as you can, then to the left. You can go onto the AstroTurf up here, but don't hit it too early because there's a bump and it'll push you offline. Back to the left a little bit, and you go a little bit deeper into this corner. You tap the brake, but you go deeper in, a little bit wider, and have a late apex, which will help you out for the following corner, which you need to be on the right side of the track for to enter, like here, as shown on screen. Then you want to lift off throttle and try to get to the inside, and you can use this curb here. It'll help shorten your line once again, but don't accelerate too early because you'll end up on the grass on the outside. Where the arrows are on screen is pretty much as wide as you want to be. If you go over that line, you'll end up going onto the grass after this off-road on the right. Don't want to do that. Keep your foot down, pull it back to the left, and then there's a 50-meter board on the left side on the wall. You want to brake a car length or two before that board, right about here. And then you don't want to cut too much over this curb. I mean, you can use a lot of it, but it will unstabilize the car. So be prepared to catch a little bit of a slide. And then onto this, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to drive here on the wet, but you get enough grip in the dry, and there's a little bit of a dark patch you want to brake right after. Use only the curbing. The AstroTurf seems to make the car bounce a bit too much, in this car anyway. And you can use a lot of the exit here. Now up here, you want to start braking after the bend ends. You want to brake right at that sort of where the curbing ends. You'll start straightening up. Keep in the middle of the track, sort of to the right if you can. Keep it tight. You don't have to use the curb. And then back out of the corner, preferably maybe in first gear, for example, this car. So we're out there. Foot should be flat for a little while. And here we have another off-road on the right. And it's hard to see, to be honest, but you'll see it once you're driving. You want to brake right before that. Some cars a bit earlier. But yeah, you want to brake before that little road on the right. Then ease off the brake pedal, turning in, end up alongside this curb on the right. Tiny bit of acceleration just to get you going again. And then before the curbing on the right ends, you want to touch the brake again and then start turning in as the curbing ends. Then you shall coast for a little while. Mid corners when you want to start picking up the throttle again. You can touch the inside curb if you like, just maybe don't ride too high on it. And then foot should be flat out of here, end up on the outside of the track. Only accelerate when you know you're going to make, or when you're going to end up on the road. If you accelerate too early, you'll end up running off the track into the grass, into the wall. You don't want that. Now for this corner, you want to brake pretty much alongside the 50-meter board. And I think a lot of cars will be different. They'll behave differently into this corner. For this car, you can really throw it in. You can just nip the brake and then throw it into the corner, and it does what you need it to. In some of the mid-engine cars, I know if you just throw it into the corner, it's going to want to spin. So you might have to be a bit more careful with your steering inputs coming into that corner. You should not spend too much time off throttle. Get back on the throttle, end up wide, then pull it back to the left. And there's two boards. I think it's the 100-meter board and the 150-meter board. You want to brake almost halfway between them, but some cars a little bit later. Then right here into the final chicane, you can use all of the curbing, at least in this car. They bounce you a little bit, but that doesn't affect your pace or lines too much. And then foot flat after that chicane, and you're good to the line. This car, in this case, I did a time of a 1 minute 59.9. These are optimal or almost optimal conditions. I believe, I can't remember the temperatures, but I think it was around about 22 degrees ambient. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember, but I do remember that it was optimal track grip and obviously sunny. But yeah, that was a short little guide on this track. I'll be quiet for now so you can watch the lap all over again without interruptions. If you have any questions, please comment below. And thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.